What's up guys, welcome to today's video. This is going to be my predictions of the 2022 World Grand Prix, which starts next Monday, the 3rd of October. If you guys want to play along as well and sort of give your input, then there will be a template in the comment section below, in the pinned comment. So copy that, put it in the comments, let me know your thoughts and who you think is going to win and what the score's going to be. We'll go through every single game and I'll pick who I think is going to win the matches, and eventually we're going to have a winner. So if you do enjoy this video, hit the like button. It helps more than you could ever imagine. And if you're not yet subscribed, hit the subscribe button. It is completely free. It costs you absolutely nothing. And if in 2 weeks time you don't like me, you can just unsubscribe. Simple as that. Anyway, the first round is going to be best of 3 sets. So we'll go through the first round, see who we think's going to win, and then yeah, play along in the comments. Let's get into it. So, game number 1, we've got Gurning Price versus Martin Schindler. I'm going to say Gurning Price wins this one. I think he wins this one 2-0. Martin's played okay recently. He's played pretty well, but Gurning Price is on fire. I think Gurning Price is going to be winning this one 2-0. Next up, we've got Joe Cullen versus Damon Heta. Now, the last time I predicted this game, I said Heta was going to win, and Cullen beat him fairly comfortably. I'm going to go Joe Cullen this time. I think Cullen beats Damon Heta, but I think it's going to be 2-1. So we're going to go 2-1. We're going to say Heta gets a set, but Joe Cullen wins. Next up, we've got Rob Cross versus Daryl Gurney. For me, Rob Cross wins this one. I think Gurney's playing all right. I think this is going to be a close game. I think this is going to be another 2-1 victory for Rob Cross, but I'm going to go Rob Cross just wins this one. I think his doubling in is going to be the difference in this match, and I think Rob Cross is going to win this one. Mados Razma versus Ryan Searle is the next match. This is going to be a close one, I think. I think Razma's playing really well, or Razma's playing better than he's has been playing. I think he's playing fairly consistently, and I don't think Ryan Searle's playing the best. He's playing okay, but he's not playing as good as he has been. I still think Ryan Searle wins this one, but I think this could be 2-1 either way. I'm going to go Ryan Searle wins this one 2-1. Next up, we've got Michael Smith versus Nathan Aspinal. For this one, I'm going to go for a little bit of an upset. I want to say Nathan Aspinal wins this one 2-1. I just think Nathan Aspinal is coming into form at the perfect time, and it's such a short format match that it could go either way, and with a double in, double out, it's going to be difficult to predict. But I've got to make a prediction, and we're going to go Nathan Aspinal to beat Michael Smith in the round 1, 2-1. Next up, Danny Noppitz versus Clemens. Gabriel Clemens, I'm going to say this one is won by Danny Noppitz. I think Noppitz is playing well enough to win this game fairly comfortably. I think Clemens is playing pretty well, but I think Noppitz playing better. I would say Danny Noppitz wins this one 2-0. Next up, we've got James Wade versus Martin Lukeman. For me, James Wade, he is the king of the doubles. This is going to be a James Wade win. I'm going to say 2-0 to James Wade, although I do feel like I'm doing Martin Lukeman a little bit of an injustice by giving that scoreline. I think it's going to be a close game, but I think James Wade's just going to be a little bit too good on the doubles, and I'm going to say James Wade wins this one 2-0. Next up, Ross Smith versus Andrew Gilding. The crowd favourites. Andrew Gilding, he is in decent form. I don't think Ross Smith's going to keep up with him, and I think Andrew Gilding wins this one. I'm going to say 2-0. I'm going to say Andrew Gilding wins this one 2-0. There might be a bit of bias because everyone loves Andrew Gilding, but I think Gilding's the better player out of those two at the moment, and we're going to go with Andrew Gilding to beat Ross Smith 2-0. Next up, we have Peter Wright versus Kim Hybex. This is the second half of the draw now. I think Peter Wright wins this one. I'm going to say 2-0. I don't think the game's going to look like a 2-0. I think it's going to be quite a close game, but I think Peter Wright's just going to get over the line, probably win both sets 3-2, and just win, really. I think he's clutch in these sort of situations. Short format is going to be difficult for both players, but I think Peter Wright's going to be the better player of the two, and I'm going to go Peter Wright win that one at 2-0. Next up, we've got Canon versus Christopher Tieski. I'm going Tieski here. I don't think Cullen's playing as well as he was at the start of the year or the end of last year, and I think Tieski is just plods along. He just throws 90-odd averages all the time, and I think that's going to be enough. I think it's going to be enough to beat Canon Rid. So I'm going Christopher Tieski, and I'm going to say 2-0. Next up, we got last year's winner and potentially the game of the first round, and that's going to be Johnny Clayton versus Dirk van Dijvenbode. Close game. I think it's going to be a close game. It's going to be a 2-1. But I'm going to go Johnny Clayton. I think Johnny Clayton is just going to edge it. I think it's going to be a really close game. I think it's going to be high averages. I think they're potentially both going to average over 100, which in a normal game of darts isn't a big deal. But in a double in, double out match, I think it's going to be a good standard of darts. I'm going to go Johnny Clayton to win that one 2-0. Next up, Dimitri Vandenberg versus Dave Chisnall. Dave Chisnall has just come off the back of a win, but I'm not going to back him. I'm going to say Dimitri Vandenberg wins this one 2-1. I think it's going to be a close game. I think it's going to be a good game, but I think Dimitri's sort of all-round game is just going to be a little bit too solid for Dave Chisnall. But you never know. Dave Chisnall could turn up, throw 110 average, win 6-0 in legs, and go home. And I wouldn't be surprised. But I'm going to say 2-0. No, I'm not. I'm going to say 2-1. I'm going to say Dimitri Van den Berg wins this one. The next potential match of the tournament, this is Michael van Gerwen versus Gary Anderson. Now for me, this match completely depends on what Gary Anderson turns up. I think if Gary Anderson plays well, I think he wins, but I don't think he's going to win this one. I'm going to go with Michael van Gerwen for this one. I'm going to say 2-1. 2-1 Michael van Gerwen. It just all depends on Gary for this one. So we could see a Gary win. It wouldn't surprise me, but I'm going to go with Michael van Gerwen. Next up, Brendan Dolan versus Stephen Bunting. Now this tournament used to be in Ireland, and Brendan Dolan was a big, good player in this tournament. He plays really well in front of his home crowd, but it's not in Ireland or Northern Ireland or wherever it normally is. It's in Leicester, I think. So I want to say Stephen Bunting wins that one. I'm going to say 2-0 Stephen Bunting. Yeah, that's my prediction. 2-0 Stephen Bunting. Next up, Jose de Souza versus Adrian Lewis. Adrian Lewis is playing pretty well. I keep tweeting that he's back. It is mainly just to annoy people, but I do keep tweeting that Adrian Lewis is back, and I think he's playing well. But I don't think he's playing well to win this match. I think Jose de Souza is going to be the winner here. I'm going to say 2-1. I think Lewis does get a set, but I'm going to say Jose de Souza wins this one 2-1. Next up is the last match. That is going to be Chris Dobie versus Luke Humphreys. Luke is playing very well. He's had a good year so far. I think he's just going to continue playing well, and I can't see Chris winning this one. Although I'd like to see him win this one. I think Luke Humphreys is going to win this one. I'm going to say 2-1 to Luke Humphreys. I think if Chris turns up and plays really well, I think he'll win. But I don't think he's played well enough this year to sort of compete with Luke Humphreys at the moment. But you never know. Double in, double out. Who knows? Anything can happen. Round 2. So round 2, this is going to be best of 5 sets. So first to 3 sets. So we're going to have a little bit of an up in the format. But first game is going to be Price versus Cullen. I'm going to say Price wins this one. I'll give Cullen a set. I'm going to say Price wins 3-1. Next up, Rob Cross versus Ryan Searle. I think Rob Cross wins this one. I'm going to go 3-2. I'm going to say Rob Cross wins this one and sets up a next round with Price. So yeah, Rob Cross 3-2 is my prediction. Next up, we've got Nathan Aspinal versus Danny Noppitz. This is another tough one. Aspinal has not had the best draw, but I think Aspinal could potentially win this one. I'm going to say he doesn't. I'm going to go with Danny Noppitz 3-1. But I wouldn't be surprised if Aspinall wins this one as well. Or even if Aspinall loses the first round, I wouldn't be surprised if Michael Smith wins this one. But yeah, it's tough to predict double in, double out. But I'm going to say Noppitz wins 3-2. We're going Danny Noppitz 3-2. Next up, we've got James Wade versus Andrew Gilding. Now, out of the two, I think Gilding is playing the better at the moment. But this is going to be all down to who hits their double ins and their double outs the quickest. I guess every match is going to be down to that. But I think James Wade's going to edge this one. I'm going to say James Wade 3-1. I think Gilding's going to play well, but I think James Wade is just going to be able to. He's just going to be getting his double ins like a one dart in front of Gilding most of the time. I think that's going to be the difference. So I'm going to say James Wade wins this one. As much as I would love to see Gilding win, I'm going to say James Wade wins 3-1. Right, second half of the draw, we have got Peter Wright versus Christopher Tieski. I think Peter Wright wins this 3-0. I think he's going to be playing well enough, and I wouldn't be surprised if he does win this one 3-0. So we're just going to go with it. Peter Wright 3-0 against Radowski. Next up, Johnny Clayton versus Dimitri Van den Berg. This will be a good game. This will be another close game. Johnny Clayton has got another tough draw in Dimitri Van den Berg for the next round. I'm going to say Johnny Clayton wins. We're going to go 3-2 Johnny Clayton. I think it goes to a last set decider. But Johnny Clayton still going on his title defense. I'm going to say Johnny Clayton wins this 3-2. Michael van Gerwen versus Stephen Bunting. Sorry, Stephen. I'm going 3-0 Michael van Gerwen here. I think Michael van Gerwen's going to be a little bit too much, so I'm going to go 3-0 Michael van Gerwen. And the last game of the second round is going to be Jose de Souza versus Luke Humphreys. I'm going to give this one to Luke. I think Luke wins this one 3-2. I think it's going to go to a last set decider, but we're going to go for Luke Humphreys here. So yeah, should be a good game. But I'm going to back Luke. Okay, into the quarterfinals. We have got Gerwen Price versus Rob Cross. This is also going to be the best of 5 sets. So the first of 3 sets, I think Price beats Rob Cross 3-1. So Price is going to be my first semi-finalist. I'm going to say Price wins, 3-1. We're going to go 3-1. Next match, we've got Danny Noppitz versus James Wade. This could be close. I'm going to give it to Noppitz. I think Noppitz is playing well enough to get to a semi. Wouldn't surprise me if he did that. So we're going to go Danny Noppitz. I think he's going to win 3-2 against Wade. I think this is going to be a close one. It could go either way. But I'm going to give it to Noppitz. Let's go, Noppitz. Prove me right, please. Next up, we've got Peter Wright versus Johnny Clayton. And I think this is where Clayton's run comes to an end. I'm going to say Peter Wright wins this one. I think this is going to be a really good game of darts. I think it's going to be very close. But I'm going to go Peter Wright 3-2. Last set decider. Peter Wright. And then we have Michael Van Gogh versus Luke Humphreys. First to 3. I'm going to say Van Gogh wins this one. I'm going to go 3-1 Michael Van Gogh for this one. I think this is going to be a good game of darts. But I think Van Gogh is going to turn up when he needs to. And he's going to hit the shots that he needs to, and I'm backing Michael Van Gogh to beat Luke Humphreys. On to the semi-finals. We've got the first semi-final is going to be Gurny Price versus Danny Noppitz. This is going to be the first to 4 sets, the best of 7 sets, and my prediction for this one is going to be Gurny Price. I think Gurny Price makes the final of this one. I'm going to say Gurny Price wins this one 4-2. He beats Danny Noppitz 4-2. That is my prediction for the first semi-final. And the second semi-final is going to be Peter Wright versus Michael Van Gogh. This is a tough one. This is a tough one. I know what? I'm going to go Van Gogh. I'm going Van Gogh for this one. I'm going to say Van Gogh wins this one 4-2 as well. I think that could be a really good game. I think as long as Van Gogh plays well, I think he does win this one. But you never really know what you're going to get with Michael Van Gogh. But I'm going to go Van Gogh. So we're going to end up with a Gurny Price versus Van Gogh final. That is going to be the first to 5 sets, so best of 9 sets. And I'm going to pick Michael Van Gogh to win. I'm going to say Van Gogh wins 5-3 to win the World Grand Prix 2022. Guys, if you did play along in the comment section, then I'd love to see your predictions. Post them and I'll have a look through them and I'll see what you think. If you think I've got this completely wrong, then feel free to tell me in the comments. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching the video. I really appreciate it. If you did enjoy it, hit the like button, subscribe, enjoy the darts, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.